fun fact of the day. This story comes to us from Norway. Why the Sea is Salt, a Norwegian fairy tale.
A very long time ago, there lived two brothers. One was wealthy, but selfish and arrogant, and the other was poor, but kind and generous. It was Christmas Eve, and there was not a crumb in the poor man's house, so he visited his wealthy brother to ask for some food. This was not the first time the man had begged his brother for help, and the brother was not happy to see him. But still, he gave his poor brother a whole leg of ham, telling him to take it and go straight to the dead man's hall. The poor man took his brother's command literally, and he searched for the hall until dusk, when he came across an old man with a long white beard. The poor man asked the stranger for directions to the dead man's hall, and offered some food in return. The old man was about to accept, but when he saw the leg of ham, he instead told the poor man to take it to the hall intact. There is no meat at the dead man's hall, and the dwarfs that live inside will surely pay well for it, though the old man advised the poor one not to accept any payment other than the small handmill that they kept hidden behind the door. The poor man heeded the old man's advice, and when he arrived at the dead man's hall, the dwarfs were indeed desperate to buy his leg of ham, offering more silver and gold than the man had ever imagined. But the poor man refused all of their offers, insisting he would have the small handmill, and eventually the dwarfs agreed. On his journey back home with the handmill, the poor man once again came across the old man with the long white beard, who told him the secret of the magic handmill. It could be told to grind out anything, any foods or goods or riches, but it would only stop when it heard the magic word. The poor man thanked the stranger again, and continued home, where he told the magic handmill to grind candles, then a tablecloth, then fine dishes, and a grand Christmas feast for him and his family, each time stopping the mill with the magic word he had learned from the old man. Word spread of the once poor man's newfound fortune, and before long his selfish brother had heard of his success and came to visit. The brother was jealous, and demanded to know how his poor brother, who had begged him for food just days before, had become so wealthy. With some hesitation, the kind brother revealed the secret of the magic handmill, and the selfish brother insisted that he must buy it, so he could become even more rich. The deal was settled so quickly that the kind man was unable to share the magic word that would stop the mill before his brother was gone. He took his new handmill back home, set it on the kitchen table, and ordered it to grind out herrings and soup. The mill produced enough herring and soup to fill all of his pots and more, but he could not figure out how to make it stop. By the time the selfish man convinced his kind brother to take the handmill back, for a price higher than the one the selfish brother had paid to take it, his house had been flooded by broth. From there, word of the magic handmill spread far and wide, eventually reaching a sea captain. The captain figured that if he could buy the magic handmill, he would no longer have to sail to distant shores to fill his ship with a cargo of salt. The sea captain went to the home of the kind man, and begged the man to let him buy his handmill. Eventually, the kind man relented, and the sea captain, afraid the man would reconsider, left so quickly that the man was unable to tell him the magic word that would stop the mill. Once he was back on his ship, the sea captain sailed into the ocean and ordered the handmill to grind out salt as fast as it could. Before long, the captain was satisfied and tried to stop the handmill, but he was unable to, no matter what he tried. The heap of salt grew higher and higher, until it was taller than the masts of the ship, and until the weight of the salt pulled the ship beneath the water. To this day, no one has reached the handmill at the bottom of the ocean, or said its magic word, so it keeps grinding out salt. That is why the sea is full of salt. The end.